script pulled up on the teleprompter.
Yeah, but are you sure that red light means that it's off?
Yes, dude, don't you know? Red means off, green means go. Now let's do this, I've always wanted to.
As long as you're sure that it's not recording us, I don't want them finding out.
Trust me, it's not. They just happened to leave the studio unlocked with everything on. Now let's have a little fun, right?
All right, I guess. Let's do this.
Great, here we go.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dex, where we cover trivia and strategy for a different Pokemon each and every week. I guess I'm Brett from Super Couch Fighters on YouTube. Nice to meet you.
Ooh, and I'm Pokegills, and today we're doing Hitmonlee. Kia!
Jesus Christ. Okay, so Hitmonlee's the kicking Pokemon from Gen 1, and it specializes in kicking butt. Dog. But for real, its canon nickname is the Kickmaster, so you know it's gotta have some skills. Which it does, in fact. It has the most signature moves of any Pokemon, and all of them are kicks.
And speaking of kicks, Hitmonlee can freely stretch its legs out double their length, like a coiled spring to reach extra far places. Plus, the soles of his feet are as hard as diamonds and can launch kicks in any direction in rapid succession because of its great sense of balance. Still, like a responsible athlete, Hitmonlee always rubs out his legs to make sure his throbbing muscles are nice and calm. Yeah!
And if Hitmonchan was the Pokemon embodiment of boxing, then you can bet Hitmonlee is all about the competitive sport of kickboxing. Yeah, okay. A form of martial arts that focuses largely on barefoot kicking. Kickboxing originated in 1960s Japan, and it's actually a hybrid of Muay Thai and karate.
Which is so cool, because to get a Hitmonchan, you involve a Tyro whose defense is higher than its attack. And if you want a Hitmonlee, you just do the opposite. See, it's kind of neat, because in boxing, it's way more defensive. You're waiting for your opponent to strike, where in kickboxing, it's far more aggressive and scary.
Also, did you notice that Hitmonlee kind of looks like a torso with no head and eyes on its body? Come on, did you notice that? Yeah. All right, surprisingly, this image, creature, or whatever it is, shows up repeatedly in folktales around the world, unified around the idea of a headless man who grows a face on their torso. And in fact, one of these myths actually kind of ties in with the Hitmon's family motto of never give up.
Xingqian is a Chinese deity who, much like Kratos, tried to take down the supreme deity above him. He was so determined that after he was decapitated, he kept fighting so hard that a second face grew out of his torso. Like Hitmonlee, Xingqian embodies the indomitable spirit of those who keep fighting no matter what. Sounds a lot like Hitmonchan too. Okay, this one's pretty gross, Brett.
What, are you getting too grossed out by the Dex, bro?
No, I just mean, how will this ever be good advertisement for Super Couch Fighters if it's so weird? I heard Hitmonlee was gonna be perfect. We're a fighting game channel, this is a YouTube office, we hijacked their show.
Whoa! What do you mean by that? What does that mean? Look at me, what does that mean?
Well, you know,
are we live right now? Have we been live the whole time? What are you doing? We can't be live! I don't know what's going on. If somebody sees this, we're gonna be ruined.
Okay, easy. All we have to do is nail whatever comes out right, which is the next segment, right?
I don't know. I've seen the show like twice.
No, I mean, yes, it's coming next. Whatever it is, just sit back and relax and, what does that say?
It looks like it says the next thing is name that kaiju. But the kaiju's crossed out and it just says boxer now. Well, the boxer's crossed out as well. It just says kickboxer instead. Okay, so Hitmonlee's name honors one of my personal heroes and one of the most influential martial artists of the 21st century, Bruce Lee. Aside from his legendary one-inch punch technique and his creating an entirely new form of martial arts known as Jeet Kune Do, translating to the way of the intercepting fist, Bruce Lee is also known for having some of the fastest and most devastating kicks ever known to man.
But if we learned anything from Hitmonchan, we know it's probably not just Bruce Lee that Hitmonlee draws inspiration from. Actually, to be completely honest, its name does refer to Bruce Lee in many more languages than Hitmonchan does Jackie Chan, but its Japanese namesake alone is enough for an amazing story of determination, so let's get it on!
Hitmonlee's Japanese name is Sawamular in reference to Tadashi Sawamura, the demon of kickboxing, whose record was 232 wins. 228 of those were by knockout, which is like 94.6%, and he only ever lost 5 times. He's one of the first ever popular kickboxers in history from the sport's early years, and strap yourselves in, because this story is about to hit Street Fighter-esque levels of melodrama. Okay, now we are getting somewhere.
Sawamura was a young karate sportsman who had won numerous championships and thought he was the best. He asked for the hero Noguchi what he thought, and Noguchi replied that the sports version of karate Sawamura had excelled in doesn't give him a leg up in an actual full contact fight. Noguchi said if Sawamura competed in full contact, he would surely lose. Shade thrown.
So of course, Sawamura went to Thailand to prove he wouldn't lose regardless of the rules, because he thought himself to have the quote-unquote samurai spirit. In his second round, he lost against a random fighter and suffered 3 broken ribs, which took an absolutely soul-crushing 16 months to heal up.
Disheartened but never dissuaded, Sawamura retrained with Noguchi, who introduced him to Japanese kickboxing and requested a rematch. Sawamura, back better than ever, went back to Thailand and won his rematch against the fighter who had previously knocked him out. He became one of the sport's greatest champions and helped to make it popular worldwide as it is today. Yo, Brett, this is awesome! All right, man, we're killing this.
Absolutely, my dude.
Right, so next comes battle strategy segment.
Battle strategy?
Yeah, man.
You mean like the VGC?
Yeah, dog.
Yes! Competitive gaming is my zone! Welcome to the zone!
Awesome Pokemon!
Ow.
Oh, sorry, what did
No,
I do?
no, don't touch
Don't come back, I'm sorry.
Alright, so look, Hitmonlee definitely shouldn't be anyone's first choice for any reason other than just having fun, but its attack stat is pretty nutty, and the combo of the normal gem and its ability Unburden, which doubles its speed once it uses its held item, can make it pretty threatening, enough so to actually play it with a straight face. Start with an adamant one and then super train that bad boy in attack and speed.
Also, Brett, make sure and let him know that the best way to use up the normal gem as quickly as possible is with a priority fake out on the first turn. Theoretically, your opponent should have flinched, leaving you alive for the next round, where you can maybe even drop him in one stab with a close combat.
Right. I also like to run Rock Slide on this set for coverage. And then as a mix-up, I bring Wide Guard, because Dark Void, Eruption, Dazzling Gleam, and Water Spout are some of the scariest threats in the meta. And Hitmonlee can stop them all, leaving your partner free to wreak havoc on your opponent's faces. And bodies. Or both, if they have a face coming out of their body.
So yeah, that's how we like to do Hitmonlee. But that's not the only way, and as always, here are a few random thoughts.
Go with Sucker Punch instead of Wide Guard if you want a second priority move in the event that Fake Out fails. Just be smart, and you'll go far. Don't be a dum-dum.
Also, Brett, you can also swap out High Jump Kingpin for close combat in exchange for that guaranteed drop in defense for a chance of missing and losing half of your health. It may seem like an obvious choice, but the fast-paced meta of the VGC makes both choices pretty viable.
Right. And speaking of losing HP, if you're less concerned about your partners and more about Hitmonlee himself, then you can swap out Wide Guard for Protect. At least that way you know for sure you're not going to get hit.
And finally, if you're anything like me and you love in and out and mind games, try swapping out Fake Out for Retaliate. They're gonna see Hitmonlee switch in after the KO and adjust to the Fake Out. So as long as you target the other one, you'll probably be hitting for close to lethal damage because it still procs that normal gem. Damn, Brett, that's so good!
Okay, so I actually thought that was pretty solid. I think we're doing a pretty good job, right?
Heck yeah! And if you want to see more of us hanging out and playing fighting games, check us out at Super Couch Fighters right here on YouTube.
Or, if you actually want to see something featuring the people who run this channel, click here for this week's The Dex Podcast with Alex, Kels, and Jimmy.
Hey, dude. What are you doing here?
There's better internet here.
Oh, God.
For what?
Never mind. Point is, we've been watching from the wings for the past few scenes, and I gotta say, you guys have been doing pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, thanks for doing that, guys. I'm Poke-Kels.
We're the Super Couch Fighters!
I'm Picnic Her Out. Tune in next week for another eye-opening episode of
The Dex!